On April
All right, let's go. Serial killers still on the loose today. Let's see it.
Vending machine killer. On April 30th, 1985, a 45-year-old truck driver stopped near a vending machine in Fukuyama, Japan. He was exhausted from work and was looking for an energy drink to help him power through the rest of the day.
Real.
When he approached the vending machine, however, he noticed something surprising. A bottle of Oranaminsi energy drink was already in the pickup tray. Thinking he'd lucked
Wait, killed him? Was the dude hiding in the vending machine?
Down on a free drink, the truck driver wasted no time chugging it down.
What?
What he didn't know was that this would be the last drink he would ever taste.
What?
Instead of the refreshing feeling he was looking for, he felt something horribly wrong with his body. A bitter, burning sensation quickly spread throughout, followed by an intense wave of nausea.
Oh, hell no.
It wasn't long before he was lying on the road in excruciating pain.
Oh, hell no.
He was rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors discovered a lethal amount of paraquat dichloride in his system.
What the fuck?
Paraquat is an herbicide.
Yusuf Flight already watched this. God damn it.
That was quite common in Japan at the time. More importantly, it's also highly toxic to humans. When ingested, it can lead to severe nausea, throat inflammation, internal chemical.
Wait, how is poisoning someone murder? I thought murder was like if you kill them.
Chemical burns, and eventually death. This is also why it's been banned completely from over 70 countries to date. Unfortunately, despite knowing the reason for his illness, there was nothing the doctors could do to save his life.
I thought it has a different
There's no
word.
antidote for the deadly chemical.
Was for like violent killing. Is it not? I thought the word murder is for violent killing.
Today, let alone back then. So, after hanging on to his life for a month, the truck driver passed away on the 30th of May, 1985.
Rest in peace,
At
man.
first, investigators assumed that given the nature of his work, he might have accidentally encountered the toxic substance while on duty.
Man.
However, after reviewing his haul records, they found no trace of this herbicide or anything.
No.
This left them with only one conclusion.
Homicide, double homicide.
The chemical was mixed into the drink he consumed just moments before collapsing in agony. But with no leads or concrete evidence, they couldn't determine whether it was a murder or self-inflicted act, resulting in the case getting shelved for the time being.
Damn.
Now, while this might sound absurd today, you have to understand that paraquat was readily available in the country at the time.
Would y'all drink a drink if it was just sitting in the tub of the vending machine? I think I would, bro. So niggas could do this to me. On God, I probably would. If it was a good looking drink, I would drink that shit. You didn't need any prescription or identification to purchase the chemical, leading to over 1,400 people using it as the poison of their choice in 1984 alone. Yeah, and
in other words,
closed?
The possibility of it being self-inflicted was just as high. However, just as the investigators were about to give up on this case completely, they received tragic news.
Hey, Yusuf, shake that big Somali cock on me, bro. Yes, yes, yes.
What? What the fuck? Yo, glisten, nigga. The fuck wrong with you, bruh? Yo, you are a grown-ass man, dude. Yo, glisten, yo, glisten, yo, glisten. Thank you for the sub, Soki. Yo, glisten. Nigga, we can tell that's your fucking voice, bro. Could tell. The view boss, bro, this shit is retarded. This do make me think, though, chat. If this happening to me, how many niggas did this happen to, and it's just every day?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Shit.
Another person had fallen victim to the same poison after consuming Oranaminsi on the 5th of September. Then another 6 days later, and one more 2 weeks after that.
How many people do you have to kill to be a serial killer? It was clear that
someone was deliberately poisoning vending machine drinks across Japan. This was the work of a deranged serial killer. Unfortunately, this supposed killer was also extremely thorough. He didn't leave any fingerprint or DNA evidence on the drinks he tampered with, and only targeted vending machines with no
Is it crazy that I can't imagine a Japanese serial killer? Like, I'm just thinking like Japanese people are too nice. I don't know. Like, I can't imagine a Japanese killer, bro.
CCTV cameras nearby. As for why his victims willingly drank the unknowingly poisoned drinks he left behind, that had to do with the buy one get one free promotion Oranaminsi was running around the time to entice younger consumers.
Am I tripping?
However, since some people only wanted the one drink, they often left the second free drink near the vending machine as a gift for the next person.
Did you see this Yoxic tweet about you? No way! Like, nigga, bro, like, what the fuck? What is this? Yusuf explains why he stayed in college while pursuing his career in streaming. Yo, why is Loud Pack Seth under this? Yo, why is Loud Pack Seth under this, bro? Yo, that nigga became a Twitter bot. What happened to that nigga, bro? Like, out of nowhere, bro. Like, what the fuck? Holy shit. That nigga dead ass became a bot.
This was common enough that people didn't find the laced drinks suspicious and drank them without a second thought. Sadly, this
that
method
weak ass
was
drink though. Niggas
effective.
drinking Iron Man drinks.
By the end of the year, this mysterious vending machine killer had claimed the lives of 12 victims and had severely injured 35 more. But as I mentioned earlier, this killer was a master of hiding his tracks. He operated all across Western and Central Japan, as well as Tokyo, making it near
I'm not going to Japan no more.
Impossible for investigators to pinpoint his location. The lack of evidence also made it difficult to figure out his motive. Some speculated that he was doing all this to extort money from Otsuka Pharmaceutical, the company that made Oranaminsi. This is because in 1984, a group called the Mystery Men with 21 Faces threatened to poison food products unless the companies paid them money.
What the fuck?
So some believed that the vending machine killer was
Japan IRL's rent-a-girlfriend?
Cat and wanted something similar. However,
check pinned. What? Good, we don't want you here, dude. You nigga. I'm gonna send you a link, okay? Where are you from? I got the power. I got you, gang. Where are you from, bro? Deadass. Like, what state are you from, bro? I'm gonna send you acting classes in your fucking state so you can practice, bro. I'm being so serious, bro. When they drop the live action Alvin and the Chipmunks, I need you to be Theodore, nigga. Deadass. We're all praying on it. Get acting classes and lock in. Stop typing in my chat and go start taking acting classes. I'm dead serious.
This theory didn't last very long because Otsuka Pharmaceutical didn't receive any demands or extortion letters from the perpetrator. Additionally, the killer also began using other drinks, like the drink Real Gold and even Coca-Cola.
This is why you only drink juice, Chad. No soda. Don't drink soda. Soda is bad for you. Soda got no positive side effects.
A Tokyo professor of criminal sociology proposed a more disturbing theory regarding the killer's motives. He stated, "It is not uncommon for Japanese who live under tremendous pressure both on the job and in overcrowded communities to let out their frustrations by hurting someone else. The person responsible may even wait around to see who buys the poisoned drink. He or she may find this as a kind of exhilarating release from the tensions of life in Japan."
Life in Japan is bad? I thought Japan is good.
But even if this was the truth, it still didn't bring investigators any closer to catching the suspect. Left with no other options, the authorities turned to the public and launched a nationwide campaign on the 27th of September.
Japan is good.
They placed signs and distributed leaflets telling people to avoid suspicious free drinks and to properly inspect the cap seals on their beverages before consumption. They also instructed vending machine owners to investigate their stock for any anomalies and told chemical shops to monitor their customers.
Yo, don't you make like hella money if you like own vending machines? That's low-key a method.
More closely. It's unclear how effective this campaign was, as the number of victims kept increasing even after its launch. But then something unexpected happened. On the 17th of November, the murder spree stopped completely after the death of a 17-year-old girl. She was the only female to have died from the poisoning. It's possible that the person who committed these atrocities had a moral code against harming women. Though that's not—
Nigga, you kill fucking 20 people and when you kill one girl, you pussy out? What the fuck? Yo, nigga, if you, like, yo, how you a serial killer and you pussy? How you a serial killer and you pussy, bro? Keep that same energy, bro.
Nothing more than a baseless speculation.
Come on, bro.
Due to the complete lack of evidence, the vending machine killer was never identified, cementing this case as one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries in Japanese history.
Do serial killers get, like, off to that shit? Like, they get horny off of killing niggas? Because that's fucking crazy. Imagine getting horny off of killing someone, bro.
Little Rock serial stabber. On April 11, 2021, the Little Rock Police Department received a distress call.
The what?
Stabber.
Serial stabber? I'm gonna be real, most times if you get stabbed by a nigga, that's on you, low-key. How you let a nigga get that close to you? Especially if it's like one-on-one, like if you in a big group, maybe like, you feel me? How you let a nigga get that close to you, bro? I don't know. If a nigga trying to come up on me, I'm moving. Hamza! Thank you, bro. Thank you for the 5 gift, Hamza. I appreciate you. Hello, I'm new. Welcome to the community, Goji. Everyone add Goji and wish him a great night. Welcome to the chat, Goji. This is a very respectful, nice chat that will never, you know what I'm saying, be weird. They're all great people.
On April 11, 2021, the Little Rock Police Department received a distress call from South Pulaski Street regarding a potential homicide. When they arrived at the scene, they found a middle-aged woman lying on the street with stab wounds all over her body.
No!
This woman turned out to be 41-year-old Deborah Walker. She was homeless at the time and was living on the streets when this incident happened.
No, yo, stabbing a homeless person is crazy. What the fuck? You know, if you're gonna stab someone, at least rob them. How you gonna stab someone that's fucking homeless? What the fuck?
She was quickly taken to the hospital where medical staff discovered that she had been stabbed at least 15 times. Despite lying on the street, bleeding for what may have been hours, she miraculously survived and managed to regain consciousness the same day.
Oh shit.
Investigators also visited her in the hospital to gather any information she could provide about her attacker. Unfortunately, she was attacked.
You know what I was thinking about the other day, chat? Like, before TVs and like phones and stuff were a thing, the cops, like, let's say, this is gonna sound so crazy, but let's say I don't know, nigga, I was at school in the locker room and a nigga fucked me in the butt. A random nigga came in the school window and fucked me in the butt. Just assaulted my shit. And then the cops came and I had to try to tell them who it was. There was no cameras and shit. There was no cameras. There was no face recognition. I'll just have to describe them. The niggas draw them on a paper and niggas gotta find someone based on a fucking drawing. You know how crazy that is? Niggas gotta find a nigga. They got no cameras, nothing. They just gotta find a nigga based on a fucking drawing, bro.
Between 1 and 4 a.m. It was still dark outside, and all that she saw was that her attacker was a tall African-American male with a slender build.
It was a what? No, it was a black guy?
And all that she saw was that her attacker was a tall African-American male with a slender build.
Damn it.
Now, in most other similar cases, such limited information would hardly be enough to generate any leads. But in this instance, the description Deborah provided left the investigators in disbelief. That's because her attacker's profile closely matched the perpetrator of another incident that took place about 8 months earlier in the surrounding.
What the fuck you mean it matched it? She said it's a tall, skinny black man. How the fuck did that match a description, nigga? That's like half of the people in the world, damn near. The fuck?
Area.
What?
The victim of that incident was 64-year-old Larry Eugene McChristian. He was living in Little Rock with his daughter Sarah, who
would never suspect this? Suspect what? Okay, yeah, never mind. I take back what I said about niggas getting stabbed. Yo, getting stabbed in the mosque is crazy, bro. Holy shit. Never, I take it back. That's fucking insane. Holy fuck. Damn, nigga. Wow. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Damn.
Was on probation at the time. On the 20th of August, 2020, he had a medical emergency and was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. He was discharged from the hospital the next morning. However, when the hospital staff tried to contact Sarah so she could pick him up, she wasn't answering her phone. So they gave Larry the information about a nearby homeless shelter and a bus token to get there. Later that day, Sarah came to the hospital looking for her father, only to learn that he'd been discharged hours ago. She then reached out to the homeless facility Larry was told about, but they didn't know anything about his whereabouts either.
Yo, imagine your dad get out of the hospital and then he just gone, bro.
The only option she had was to file a missing persons report and wait for the police to find Larry. 2 days later,
what would you do if you went missing? Probably get found.
4th of August, Sarah received the call she was waiting for. Tragically, it wasn't the news she had hoped for. According to the official report, the Little Rock Police Department found Larry's body on South Gaines Street at around 2 a.m. They identified him by the hospital discharge papers he had on him.
Got stabbed again?
More importantly, he had multiple stab wounds on his body and was unfortunately already dead by the time the police arrived.
Dude.
His death was declared a homicide, and the investigators began looking for clues almost immediately.
Only
this proved
in
quite impossible at first, since there were no witnesses, and there wasn't anything that could be used as evidence at the crime scene. However, after inspecting the surrounding houses, they had a major breakthrough. The CCTV camera outside a nearby house had captured the suspect walking down the street when suddenly he spots Larry and begins walking towards him. After committing the crime, he tries leaving the area, only to stop, go back, and stab Larry one last time before fleeing.
What the fuck? Damn, nigga! What the fuck?
As mentioned earlier, this man matched the profile Deborah gave to the police, leading investigators to believe she was attacked by the same person.
Are you serious?
While looking into older cases, they also connected the same killer to another murder that happened in the area on September 23rd, 2020.
Duke would have solved this before they could have. Duke would have solved the crime? Duke would have solved the crime?
The victim of this incident was 62-year-old Jeff Welch, another homeless man who was living in an abandoned home. On the morning of that day, Jeff's friend found him on the porch of his house with a stab wound on his neck. By this point, the investigators knew they were dealing with a deranged serial killer. However, just as they uncovered the connection between the 3 attacks, another tragedy unfolded. On April 12, 2023, a day after the attack on Deborah Walker, another one of his victims was found on the Wright Avenue overpass. The only thing in common with these 4 attacks was that they all involved—
Chad, but this could only happen in a place like fucking Arkansas, nigga, because if you do this in Atlanta, bro, like, niggas is outside. Like, we outside. We gonna see this. We gonna handle it, bro. I've seen a nigga getting stabbed. I'm gonna call my partners and we gonna fuck them up, bro. Dead ass. This wouldn't happen where I'm at. You feel me?
Homeless individuals, and they all happened between 1 and 4 a.m. There seemed to be no clear pattern on how the perpetrator selected his targets. This left the Little Rock community terrified to leave their homes, fearing they might become the next victim of the serial killer on the loose. After realizing the potential danger of this situation, LRPD began spreading awareness.
Imagine, bro. Imagine niggas tell you, yo, there's a serial killer in your neighborhood. He's tall and possibly black. Yo, deadass, every time I see a black person, I'm running the opposite way. I'm keeping it a buck. If I'm walking and I see a black person, I'm deadass just gonna run the opposite way. On God. Like, bro, what type of like shit is that, bro? Like, hello? Weak ass description.
Who is now being referred to as the Little Rock Slasher. They also turned to the public to ask for any information they could provide on the matter, and even announced a $20,000 reward.
We also need your help. If you have seen anything suspicious or have surveillance cameras on your homes or businesses in this area, please contact us at 501.
Like, bro, what the fuck?
Unfortunately, despite having CCTV footage of the suspect, the Little Rock Slasher was never caught.
Yo.
The case remains a mystery to this day.
Oh my God, who in this chat lives in Arkansas? He's gonna come get you. Who in this chat live in Arkansas?
Or at least that's what the official reports say. While researching this case, I came across an Arkansas-based blog called the Snarky Media Report. The authors of this blog did their own investigation.
Oh, by the way, chat, my cousin, he's not a bot. That's not fucked up to say. But have y'all ever met a nigga that doesn't watch TV shows and shit? The nigga goes downstairs, hops on the Roku TV in the fucking basement, and puts music videos on the screen. And just sits there watching like Lil Durk and NBA Youngboy music videos for like an hour. Dead ass. Just sits there and watches. He's a grown-ass man. He just watches like Lil Durk videos. I swear on everything. I'm not trolling.
Into the slasher case. And what they found was shocking to say the least. Put simply, they claim to have found the true identity of the killer after talking to multiple locals and Deborah, who, according to their blog, already knew the identity of her attacker. They also uncovered many details about this supposed killer, including his criminal record, which reveals that he has already served 2 prison terms in Arkansas for felony convictions of domestic violence. Also, his history with drug abuse and how it made him very agitated and violent.
See, niggas gonna blame everything on the drugs. Nigga, I guarantee you, right now, I shoot some fucking heroin in my veins, I'm not gonna kill somebody. I'll probably start doing some weird shit. I'm not gonna kill somebody.
Previous landlord, who gave them this image of the perpetrator. Which begs the question, if they know so much about the slasher, including his legal name, why didn't they give this info to the police? That's where the case goes from creepy to bizarre, since, according to them, they've already given everything they had to the relevant authorities. Despite this, the Little Rock police didn't make any progression in catching the serial killer. Snarky Media also published a video of—
It's this nigga, Chad. It's always every movie, nigga, every cartoon, every TV show. It's always the bald mayor, bro. They the niggas that fuck shit up. It's on him, bro. I know this nigga. He part of it, bro. He part of that shit. I promise you, he part of that shit.
The Little Rock mayor and police chief refusing to answer—
Is this not your dad? What the fuck? No, my dad's not bald, bitch.
Answer questions about the case. This seems to hint at something incredibly shady going on behind the scenes. That said, there's no way for me to confirm if the authors of the Snarky Media blog are telling the truth. For all we know, their whole investigation is made up, and this is just some random guy who has nothing to do with the 4 attacks, and it's all a ploy to make the Little Rock Police Department look bad.
What the fuck?
Most of the information they've gathered seems to check out with what's released publicly by the authorities. The only discrepancy in their investigation is the age of the suspect. Officials believe the
Chat, is there body cam footage for everything? Like, that sounds retarded, but do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, is there, like, if you get pulled over, does the police have body cam? Like, for everything that the police do, is there body cam footage or no? Like, for everything they do. Like, let's say allegedly, like, I get swatted. Is there body cam footage of that? Which, Jesus Christ, I fucking hope there's not. But, like, there's body cam footage of that? Holy fuck. Bad.
slasher to be young, possibly in his 20s, but the authors of this blog state that the person they found was 46 years old. Unfortunately, this is where the leads end. Whether snarky media is telling the truth or not
just had sex,
uncertain.
I'm back though, what I missed.
What is certain,
Nigga,
however, is
pillow.
that the case remains unsolved to this day. The Little Rock slasher is likely still out there and can continue his murder spree at any moment.
Chat, if you're in Little Rock, be careful, okay? I'm looking out for you guys. If you're in Little Rock, Arkansas, be very careful, okay?
Thanks to Trade Coffee for sponsoring this video.
Man, shut the fuck up! Oh, that's creepy, just off rip, nigga. Why they name him that? Why they give these niggas like Oracle last names, bro? Like, they need to start calling like the bitch-ass serial killer. Like, they be giving these niggas Oracle names that make them even more scary, bro. Why do they do that shit?
On February 17, 1997, 21-year-old Patrick McNeil went out with his friends. He spent the evening out drinking with his friends in the Dapper Dog Bar in Manhattan. During this time, he likely drank more than he could handle, resulting in him throwing up in the bar's bathroom before leaving in a highly unstable and disoriented state. Patrick was then seen turning left onto 90th Street, heading in the direction of the East River.
Oh no!
This was the last time
anyone would see Patrick
alive. Following this night out, Patrick vanished into thin air. Despite extensive efforts, authorities found no leads or clues to his whereabouts.
Oh my god, is Sham
okay?
That is
until April 7, 1997, when Patrick's lifeless body was found in...
They have a beach in New York? New York has a beach? Since when? What the fuck? I didn't know that.
The East River, 50 days after his disappearance. Duty Sergeant of the NYPD's Special Investigation Division, Kevin Gannon, was called to the scene to assist with the body's recovery and examination. Kevin had been a seasoned detective for years, and by this point, there was little that could surprise him. However, the circumstances surrounding Patrick's death disturbed him to his core.
What the fuck?
The more he looked into it, the more strange the situation became. For instance, Kevin noted that Patrick's body wasn't decomposed enough to have been floating in the river for a week, let alone the past 50 days. He also found burn marks on Patrick's body, hinting at the possibility of him being restrained prior to his death. Kevin knew that something wasn't right. Unfortunately, due to the complete lack of evidence pointing to the contrary, Patrick's death was ruled as an accident. Kevin kept thinking over this feeling for the next year before coming across the kid.
Yo, Kevin look like, who does he look like, bro? This nigga reminds me of someone. Fuck, I don't know the nigga name, bro.
Case that
the nigga look like
suspicions
someone, though.
even further. On February 13, 1998, another body was found in the same stretch of water. This body was later identified as 22-year-old Lawrence R. Andrews, who had gone missing on New Year's Eve after celebrating the event with his friends in Times Square. After getting on the case, it didn't take long for Kevin to notice eerie similarities between the two cases, as both bodies were found within yards of each other. Both of them were also young Caucasian males and were on track to have successful careers. They both disappeared in one of the most crowded cities in the world without any trace as well. Most importantly, Kevin also found similar oddities in both cases, where the bodies were a lot less decomposed than they should have been, and there were burn marks indicating possible restraints before their—
Ty Lillis having his birthday party on stream right now? Say you swear to God. I was supposed to go. That was today? No. Woo! Dude. That was today? Are you serious, bro? Fuck. No shot I missed it. God damn it, man. Fuck. You're an asshole? Yeah, I'm a piece of shit, bro. God damn it, man. Fuck. L man still go? Y'all think I could catch a flight to New York? My brother was going to New York. His flight got canceled, though. His flight got canceled. Damn it, man.
Their death. Lawrence's case prompted Kevin to look for other similar cases across the U.S. He enlisted the help of fellow detective Anthony Duarte and a criminal justice professor, Dr. Lee Gilbertson. Together, they began investigating these cases, and soon a chilling pattern began to emerge. In total, they found 45 different instances of young men dying under shockingly similar circumstances as Patrick and Lawrence. Most of them went out for a night of drinking, became more intoxicated than usual, disappeared shortly after, and were later found dead in some body of water.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I don't even drink, and I know, bro. If one of your friends is like drunk as shit, you gotta make it your like main priority to keep them niggas safe, bro. Because niggas, when they get drunk, just wander off and go crazy ass places, bro.
Almost all of them were also Caucasian and on track to have a high-paying career like engineering after college. Most
Like
disturbingly,
Malik, yeah, that night I had to come save Malik, nigga. I got a text from Dreamo, and he was like, yo, come pick up Malik, bro. That nigga is face down in the fucking basement. I was like, wait.
however, they also found graffiti of smiley faces near the bodies of at least a dozen different victims. This led to the 3 investigators creating the smiley face murder theory.
What the fuck?
According to this theory, these 45 and possibly many other deaths from the 1990s to 2010s weren't accidents in the slightest. Instead, they were murders committed by a single deranged person or an organized group of serial killers. This is the only logical explanation
they got groups of serial killers, nigga? This like the fucking Suicide Squad? What the fuck? They got groups of serial killers? To justify
the many oddities and similarities in these incidents. That said, while this theory makes complete sense to some people, others aren't convinced one bit.
Should I watch that? That show tough? I've been thinking about it, bro. I need some new shit to watch. I'm gonna be honest. The new season of You is some booty cheeks.
Criminal profiler Pat Brown, for instance, called this theory ludicrous. She believes that the idea of connecting smiley faces, one of the most common graffiti symbols, with murders is just absurd, stating, "It's not an unusual symbol.
Shut up, bitch!
If you look in any area 5 miles square, I bet you could find a smiley face." The FBI also completely denied this theory in a statement, reading,
"Wait, what happened? Why are y'all... What happened? What did I miss? What? Check pinned? What the fuck? Why is that so big? Why is that so big, nigga? What the fuck? What was that? On Zoo Shake? Why I can't do that? The fuck? Butt. Ass. Fat butt. Nigga, how you get that emo, nigga? Bro. Yo, Trent, add that shit, bro. Let me give you more permissions, nigga. Add that shit, bro. We need more ass in this chat, bro. We got too much dick. We need more ass in here, bro. Add that emo, bro. Add that emo. Add that emo, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. We need more ass in here. Busters? Nah, Busters a good one, I think. Wait, Busters don't work? Nigga, that's a good ass emo. That's the one with the nigga got the dick in between his ass cheeks, right? Wait, no. I swear there was one where he has something in between. Pause. I swear. I promise you there was one where he has something in between. Like a little brown thing inside. Maybe I'm bugging, bro. Maybe I'm tripping.
The FBI has reviewed the information about the victims provided by 2 retired police detectives who have dubbed these incidents the smiley face murders. And
dude, yesterday my aunt came to my crib and like gave me a gift for my graduation, and I meant to text her like thank you, and in Somali aunt is Aya, so I was gonna say thank you Aya, but my thing auto corrected to Ayo with like 5 O's all caps, so I just like I accidentally texted her like thank you and Ayo with like 5 O's, bro.
Interviewed an individual who provided information to the detectives. To date, we have not developed any evidence to support links between these tragic deaths or any evidence substantiating the theory that these deaths are the work of a serial killer or killers. The vast majority of these instances appear to be alcohol-related drownings.
What the fuck?
However, despite these setbacks, the 3 men have stuck with their theory. They're still working on finding evidence to back their observations.
Niggas is trying to solve a murder from 30 years ago. I'm not gonna lie, just let it go, bro.
Said if their hunch is correct, it would mean one of the most wicked serial killers in American history is still at large today. I-70 killer.
Last one.
Robin Fuldauer was a 26-year-old Indiana University graduate who was working at an Indianapolis Payless shoe source store near I-70.
Used to work there. This is where I used to get all my champion shoes and Shaqs and Airwalks.
The 8th of April was supposed to be her day off. However, just as she was getting ready to relax at home, the employee who was supposed to man the counter called in sick. Left with no other options, her manager called Robin and told her to cover the shift instead. Robin wasn't very happy about this emergency shift change, but she reluctantly agreed, arriving at the store at 10 a.m. and starting her shift as usual. Unfortunately, her day was about to get a whole lot worse.
No!
Everything seemed normal until 2 p.m. when the manager called the store for a routine check. To her surprise, Robin wasn't picking up the phone. She kept trying for a few minutes before giving up and calling the Speedway gas station neighboring the shoe store. One of the gas station employees, a friend of Robin's, went to the Payless store to see if she was doing okay.
For the dollar Omni,
However,
man.
what she found
Ain't
inside
that a nigga
left
from
her
a show?
confused. The store.
This is why we keep asking you to watch Invincible. Watch this 1-minute clip real quick. It's not TOS, but a bit bloody.
Bro, I'm good, bro. I've seen a few episodes of that, bro. I just didn't like that shit, bro.
Was in slight disarray, and some of the shoes were missing from the shelves. The cash register was also open, and there was no money in it. Most concerning of all, there were no signs of Robin anywhere. Her friend called out Robin's name, hoping she was just in the back and would respond. But when she didn't hear anything from Robin after minutes of standing in the store, she became worried and called the police at around 2:20 p.m.
Indianapolis?
The cops arrived within minutes and began searching the store for clues on Robin's whereabouts.
Yo, fuck. Yo, delete that emo. Yo, dead ass nigga. Yo, delete that emo. Yo, do you think you're funny, nigga? Yo, delete that fucking emo, nigga. The fuck? Yo, who you feeling like? Delete that fucking emo, nigga.
It wasn't a devastating discovery. They found Robin lying in the store's back office. It was already too late. During questioning, an employee from the store across the street claimed to have seen a strange man loitering around the shoe store a couple hours earlier.
Why y'all saying F? Who's F? I'm effing? Hello? Hello? Hello?
According to this employee, the man sat on the curb for about a half hour, rifling through his bag and staring at the Payless store. They then saw the same man a few minutes later
what do y'all
trying to
think?
hitch a
Take
ride
your
back
guess
to Interstate
before this bit ends. Do you think I
465, which was about a
uninstalled
quarter mile
GTA?
from the store's location. Unfortunately, they were too far away to get a good look at the man's face. Given the money stolen from the register, and without any other leads, investigators filed this as nothing more than a robbery gone wrong. However, they couldn't have been more wrong. Because just 3 days later, something similarly tragic happened to 23-year-old Patricia Smith and 32-year-old Patricia Makers. The two were working at a bridal shop in Wichita along I-70. The incident happened a little past their usual closing time as they were waiting for a customer who had a pickup. When they saw a man approaching the store, they assumed that it was the customer. However, this man drew a gun on the two after entering the store, took them to the back, and executed both with shots to the back of their heads.
What the fuck?
As the killer was leaving the store, he crossed paths with the actual customer the girls were waiting for. Without hesitation, he aimed his gun at the man and ordered him to head to the back of the store. But the customer defied his command and ran, narrowly escaping with his life. He later helped the police draw a sketch of the killer.
Like, see, bro, like, you go to fucking, you see 100 niggas like this if you go to the fucking, like, I don't know, country club, nigga. This shit would not help no one with nothing.
Unfortunately, the sketch didn't provide much of a breakthrough.
And yo, how did niggas get a sketch just by people describing someone? Like, y'all think if y'all described me, someone would be able to draw me accurately? No way. Like, there's no way. Like, no shot.
By this point, the authorities were certain they were dealing with a serial killer, but despite their efforts, the killer's spree continued. By May 7th, he had taken 3 more victims in small, low-traffic stores along the I-70 highway. By the time investigators managed to compile a few more sketches, the I-70 killer stopped his quest and went into hiding. That is until 1993, when he claimed 3 more victims along I-35 in Texas. He tried to hide his identity by changing his weapon, but the investigators were quick to notice the similarities. One of his victims, Vicky Webb, also
he's killing all fine shits.
Managed to miraculously survive after getting shot in the neck. If he were ever caught, Vicky's testimony would have been crucial in bringing him to justice. Though, the I-70 killer was never found, and the case went cold for nearly 3 decades. However, then, in 2021, investigators released CCTV footage of a murder that happened in 2001. The suspect in this footage looks strikingly similar to the I-70 killer sketches, potentially giving authorities the lead they need to finally catch him.
What's the point of catching a murderer after like 30 years? The family already probably don't want to hear that shit because they already like moved past that. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like the family do not even want to hear about that shit anymore. I feel like if let's say my brother got killed and 30 years later to where, you know, I moved past that, I like accepted the nigga dead. They come up to me and say, we found the guy who killed him. Like that will bring it all back. You feel what I'm saying?
It's likely only a matter of time before he runs out of places to hide and is captured. But for now, he's still out there, evading police and leaving the case unresolved. We can only hope he doesn't take any more victims in the meantime.
Nah, this was good. I like these creepy ass vids. Maybe that say something about me.